that's when the breakthrough happened, though. That's where we jumped above the 100 deals a year and went up to that higher level.
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Right. Well, this is obviously we're deep into kind of your second topic, which is advertising and social media. What I think is interesting about what you've done from your initial story, which is why we love to get the backstories, because it tends to tell us, it gives us one or two things. They either grew out of old methods, which we find a lot, aka I was slamming, doors and calls and all that. And then I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to do social media and leverage my time. Or people went, like, by the sounds of it, pretty much with you, where you were like, I'm just going to kind of go media advertising right away because I understand that this is how it works. So
yeah,
obviously you understand, the power of leverage, right? Which is really what this is. We talk about this a lot, which is like, it's like the eighth wonder of the world. Like, it's leverage and understanding how it benefits you, especially social media is huge. So you're using Sync for your Google, you're doing all your your Facebook stuff in-house, and you're using funnels and stuff. So did you get any training previously? I know you said trial and error, but did you go through any courses, or did you get your team members to kind of learn that initial bit? Or was it kind of seeing what others had done for you and kind of reverse engineering it, what you saw had worked for you?
So you're going to think part of it was just from buying all these things that didn't work.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, that's true. I watched Sync's Facebook ads and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking retarded. They're not getting anything out of it. And I'm not picking on them. I love those guys over there. But, it was like the bang for buck was like crazy low, right? And so a lot of it was doing that. And then we were very, very fortunate. One of our friends here in the office, one of the team members, he had a friend that was not making it in real estate. And Trevor's the guy. He wasn't liking. They had him on the cold call, fucking blah 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 blah. And I said, "What do you think about doing this instead? And really being our guy that digs deep on all of this and doing that, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll make it a salary position so you don't have to worry about money, da 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 da. And that way, it was focused on what works best for us and." That
amazing.
That's the game changer right there
huge.
For us.
That's huge because also he knows what it's like dealing with him, and he's a realtor, so he's like it tends to work very,
licensed.
very well.
Yeah, they're all licensed and all that. And we're still experimenting with different ways of doing things. We still generate probably 300 or 400 leads a month. So obviously that's a lot per person.
How do you even process that? Do you guys have ISAs? Are you filtering them on Facebook leads with the forms and additional questions? What does that look like?
That's after filtering, unfortunately.
That's after filtering?
That's after filtering. So
holy shit. Do we want to even ask how much you're spending then on a monthly basis?
It's a lot. Yeah. And it's tough. I mean, that's the tough part. That's the part we're really trying to get into the granular area of it right now and find out what is the best way to process it by trying different methods. I was so anti-phone because I saw the waste of time, and I don't think it's a great leverage tool. As you said, if I spend 4 hours on the phone dialing 100 people or 50 people or whatever, chances are only 1 in 100 are going to really answer. It didn't make sense to me. So I'm trying to, we've come up with campaigns that are automatic. And again, that goes from hiring people to do stuff and then they fail, and tried to modify those campaigns through text emails, et cetera, to bring those people back and just go after the ones that are extremely interested. One of the things Sync allows you to do is see that live and in color. So, I on my phone in the morning, I can go, boom, these 5 people all were on the website last night. They looked at 5 or more homes. That's a serious client. That's our target for today, so to speak. And so we're leveraging that. We're leveraging technology to do it. Now,
So you don't have like a dedicated ISA team. You let the technology do the filtration, and then the team come in and be educated, and
right.
basically like the Navy SEALs know exactly, hey, I'm following up.
This is the guy I need to talk to today. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so you're more precise, not volume, precision.
Precision is where it's at. It's leveraging your time. That way, the conversation's on, and it's easier, right?
The train of thought, which is so there's a few things I picked up which I kind of want to throw out there for everyone listening. Is one, Rick's doing 100 plus deals a year. He leverages advertising. So one, if you think online leads don't convert and you're listening to this, you are wrong. Right? We say this a million times. You're still wrong. Right? Yeah. 2, it's like Rick is spending a lot more money than most people. Most people might spend $500 a month. He's spending more. He knows his numbers, and he's getting 100 plus deals because it makes financial sense, which is huge. So if you're wanting to do that, it's like, know your numbers, put more money in, get more money out. 3, it's not like, this is what I wanted to pick up on. It's not like he's got this big call center calling everyone. He's actually gone, okay, I'm willing to lose a bunch of them if they're not willing to jump through my hoops, which is actually what I wanted to talk about, because we've done this before for people. And it's kind of an interesting...
You're literally thinking the same thing, exactly where you're going.
And it's super interesting, the type of individual that we've worked with, for example, in the past, that's gone, I would rather have, like 1 lead or 5 leads that have jumped through 5 hoops than 100 leads that have jumped through 1. Right. Because they're like, I just want to know that I'm getting on the phone with 5 people who I've got all the information from, and I've got like a really good chance. If they're not like crazy type thing, I can close these deals. And I don't care if I pay $2,000 for 5 leads, for example. If those 5 leads are great and I'm getting $7,000 a commission and I close 2 of them, dude, like, this is amazing. I don't want 100 leads. I want 5 conversations that are quality. But it's a big mindset shift for a lot of people, where it's like, oh, I'm getting 300 leads. It's like, no, you, like, depending on where you're at, because you can.
I got in a big war over this when I first did the mind shift change. I was absolutely going, no. I need more leads, more chances, more opportunities, more.
Well, you do until you build the skill set where you're at, right?
Right.
But now you're more equipped with the skill set, so you're not looking to churn and burn. You're looking to be a lot more efficient with your time.
What I was getting at, that was a big war, not only with myself to get that through my head, because as a salesman, you always want more, right? I mean, that's the deal, and with vendors as well as with myself, that was a huge war inside me to come over to that. That's when the breakthrough happened, though. That's where we jumped above the 100 deals a year and went up to that higher level. My big fight right now is I want to go to even more. And am I too narrowed down to go to that next level? Should I put an ISA team in to take those people that aren't jumping through the hoops and try to bring them back into the funnel as well? That's a fight I'm fighting with myself right now.
I mean, talking out loud, an ISA for most places is like $5 a lead. Yeah. And in fact, one of our friends, and he's been on this as well, Gus, who owns Power ISA, that it's like $5 a lead, give or take anyway. Right. All the ISA companies are about $5 a lead. And it's like,
for me, that's like $150,000
for you.
Yeah. I mean, my database is 30 or 40,000 people that haven't jumped through the hoops. Right.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that's a huge amount of money to invest.
No. So we're talking about if you were to just go from today forward, right? Five,
Also,
5 times 400, $2,000, and then you can kind of revisit the other people. There's more efficient ways that we can discuss, I'm sure, for you to be able to use. But yeah, that's a huge, huge
I think
jump.
that's the next step, and I'm just trying to. You hit it dead on the head. Where do I start with that? We've found, unfortunately, or fortunately, because we keep those campaigns going all the time, even for people that have been on my site 1,800 days ago, 5 years, that we close on the average 6 or 7 of those every year that have been on the site more than 3 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
I just love that you know
I
that.
can get granular with you on this shit. So,
I love that.
Yeah. So this is
that is awesome.
This is where the dilemma is, because we have the technology to track what they're doing and know when to hit them. We're hitting them at that right spot. Am I going to draw up more of those by push, and that's where it comes into me that I'm really fighting this myself. I really am, because I know the technology tells me they're absolutely ready, right? Now's the time to call, right? So now, am I missing out on another 10 a year that aren't using the site because they dropped off, they're not using it anymore, et cetera, et cetera. So I filtered those people too. And you're still at 20 or 30, 25,000 of them that aren't actually really engaging with us. But we also know that we can grab those buyers back from that thing. I did try a guy with an AI company out of Seattle to try to do that. He wasn't successful. And because
I love that you're trying
I always go tech first. That's just my instinct, right? And it wasn't successful, and I had to cut my spend with him, considerably.
So when you say technology, like I heard you say Sync. Are you using Sync for your website, for your CRM, for everything, for your?
I have my own website too, and I have Follow Up Boss too as a backup. So depending on where the lead comes from, what we envision is all of our personal stuff that we're generating going through our website and Follow Up Boss, and letting Sync continue to do the Google stuff until we feel confident enough that we've got that wired down. Then probably take all of it over there. Part of the problem though is that there's some features in Sync that I can't duplicate right now in Follow Up Boss, and I can't duplicate them in the website. So I'm doing it, bipolar. So to speak. Yeah.
And when you say your website, do you guys have a WordPress website? Because I know there's not a website that comes with Follow Up Boss.
No, we're using Agent Fire for it.
Got it.
It was something that Trevor could get on right away and get it up and running and what have you. I'm not a whiz bang on that stuff. So again, which one's easier for you? How are you going to get to there and get us the most amount of features in it so that we can, and he knows what the goal is. The goal is, can we take that and eventually do all our Google and everything through there, blah, 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 and so that I can just put on plant-ons for some of these features that Sync gives me already in it to add to that website, right? I think that's
how much emphasis do you put on like SEO and organic stuff?
We do quite a bit of that. That's the organic stuff. We've been around a long time now. And so, we're mailing out things, et cetera, so we're not completely devoid of traditional marketing. We generate, this year was the first year that actually passed up all my other advertising. So literally 55% of it came from previous traditional, et cetera, and 45% of it is sitting at right now of some kind of web-based advertising, right? Which that was a first. I mean, for years we've been 70, 80, 90%, all the other. And my daughter was kind of key in that. She said, "But Dad, do you realize how many people you've already sold? You realize, you're you're just forgetting about them basically, other than putting them on some kind of campaign in sync. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. Explore it, see what we can do. And I kind of let her have the ball with that. And yeah, she literally made it. I think she started that program about 2-3 years ago. And now, like I said, it's a big chunk of our business.
One of the things that I like to, dive in a little bit is like your filtration process or your system, because you're running a lot of different outlets. Mm-hmm. Do you have a common filtration system where you're sending somebody to a funnel, you're asking them X amount of questions? Do you drop them just straight to your website and let the campaigns pick up? What does that look like?
So we run 30 days pretty intense. The first 30 days we get them in, we got them being hit almost daily, or sometimes even 2 times
like
a day.
Like a text message and an email, something along those lines?
An email, a video, all the above. And that's why I said, like, follow up boss, you can't put that video in there to get it to shove across, yes. Right?
That's why I'm asking this, because I'm familiar with everything you said. Yeah, and I'm like, how are you doing all this?
Sync can, though, right? So that first 30 days, they're in sync and they're getting all of that, right? We've pre-recorded, 10 or 12 of them for each one of the salespeople. So if it comes in and it goes to Mike over here, Mike's videos can go out that first day, welcoming them. They're putting a face with it, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're digging into finding out. We do a pre-done search for them based on what they were looking at on the website. And again, Sync gives you that information right away. So that's, a big thing. And I probably never leave Sync because of all the stuff they keep coming up with that does it. I want to, because it's like you want to control it yourself. They're slow, right? So, but you come into that. So we're filtering them right from the get-go by only showing them what they're trying to look at. But we also have in the campaign, hey, are we missing the ball? Are we dropped the ball from you? Are you getting the houses you want to see, et cetera, et cetera? So we see where their response is at that point. If that first 30 days they're not responding back to us in any way, then they go into a different type of campaign that is much slower at them. In other words, it starts out a couple times a week. They're getting houses. They're still getting stuff. They're getting emails and texts, but at a much lower level. And then it just keeps going like that down the line. But we don't ever stop marketing them. As long as they haven't blocked us, it's on. This is the way I look at it. Yeah.
So the way I look at it is you either want one of 2 responses. You want the thumbs up or the middle fingers. You don't care which one you get. Just give me one.
Just give me one. And again, we're tracking what they're doing, right? As you well know, those programs track wonderful. And so as soon as we see that light up, boom, now they go back up to the top pond, right? They lit up. Boom, they're back up to there. Somebody picks them up. They go out we call it Avery or pond, where they're the leads that are, nurturing or whatever. And once that hits, boom, it goes over there. Trevor checks those daily. That's number one job over there is, it's great to create the ads, but let's get the ones that buy right away. And he reassigns them to an agent right away so that they're getting it, because it's hard to keep track of that many people without a lot of technology, behind you to do it, right?
Yeah. Do you guys? Sorry, Andrew. I got to dig into this a little bit, because this is another dilemma that everybody's talking about. Mm-hmm. Do you do it off of a community page? Do you do like your own branding? Because I'm assuming that's also got a little bit of an effect where now everybody knows who Rick and the Turley team is, right?
It is. That's why I think you're seeing that organic stuff grow. And like I said, that's all of a sudden is higher than my actual paid advertising is.
This is the difference between advertising and branding. This is what people you've now hit the intersection we talk about. So we've done a lot of advertising for people. Right. And what the point of advertising is to accelerate brand recognition. Exactly. And then there will be an intersection where you're now passing organically what you pay for. So then you've got 2 choices. You can now grow twice as fast because you keep them both, or you stop spending and you make tons more money. Right. Or your deals stay the same. And like, this is where people will kind of go, I want to go one or two ways. It really depends on their real estate goals. You know, some people are like, I want to do 1,000 deals a year. And other people like, if I can do 10 a month and don't have to pay a dime for them anymore, like, I'm amazing.
And that's a debate. I'm
You're in right now.
Yeah. That's what I said. Do I want to spend this extra and go and bam it up again? I tend to go growth, but you know, I'm reaching an age where how much growth do I really want, right? And so I got to have some balance in life too. So we're still continuing to advertise. You know, we're not going to let up off the gas pedal, so to speak, at this point in time. But eventually, it does come down to that. You hit it dead on the head. Either Brittany picks up the ball and says, "I'll run with it," and I can, you know, be happy with the 10 or 12 people that call me a month and go sell my house, or, you know, we continue to grow the company further. One of the things we're doing is, I think, overall in the industry, I'm seeing the clients want more and more out of every transaction. And so we're trying to vertically integrate over here as well. We just opened an office right next door for lending, so that we have a thing for them to go into, get lending. I'm working with another company about doing the title services as well.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as a big thing as we're going forward. We're, you know, in the bullseye, us in Phoenix, of where new tech companies come out and try to take the business, right? I see a huge amount of it in Phoenix, especially, but we're getting them here too. Homie's in the market, OfferPad's in the market, Open Doors in the market. I've made friends with them and actually feed them, because there's certain things that fit their box really very well that I can actually do the consumer a favor by just taking it direct to them on it and at a lower fee, which builds my brand again. But there's also the other side of the equation, which is they are making it really convenient for people, because they do all of that right there in house for them. And so I've learned that lesson from them, and we're seeing consumers really like that. It's not a huge part of our clients yet that are wanting to be completely vertically integrated, but it's probably at 10% right now. But I see a big, huge growth factor in that, where we could pop that up to 30 or 40%, and there's another 2 revenue streams, right? So, yeah, it's a part where I don't know whether, you know, do I keep putting more gas on sales, or do I just take more profit in the other side? So I don't know.
More money per customer. Well, more money per customer is always the better option, because you'll actually get more business growth. You'll take home way more money doing that.
That's exactly it.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, we're giving access to a private training we did, where we revealed the top 3 niches to get listings today completely for free. So if you want access, you can go and download that training at eliteagentsecrets.com. We're regularly releasing new trainings, guides, and cheat sheets, so make sure to head over to eliteagentsecrets.com and sign up so you don't miss out.